It's day 10 of the Body Shaping for Women Over 50 series, and we've got low impact cardio and body weight strength today. Let's go! All right, killer bees, let's get moving and grooving, and that means that we are getting started with some arm circles with high knees like we do. You guys, it's day 10. I feel like 10 days into this program that even if you are brand new to my channel, that you probably know this warm up by now. Welcome to the workout, you guys. I'm Paula B. I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend. And around here, we are all about making peace with our menopausal body. And today we are making peace in one of the best ways possible with a beautiful, gloriously moderate workout. You guys, I've been looking forward to this actually, since before push day. I really look forward to our moderate days. I have learned over the past year or so to truly embrace moderation. And if you haven't learned that yet, I want you to know it took me a while. It really, really did. Have no fear. You will come around to this way of thinking eventually, especially if you stick around here with me, you guys. I tell you what, we talk about moderation a lot, even during our body shaping series, where we are learning how to push and also how to rest, but also how to moderate, how to get beautiful results with changing intensity. Now let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers as well. Today's intensity, in fact, today is like a microcosm of the macrocosm of our program. Today we are doing low impact, meaning no jumping. That does not mean low intensity. We're still going with moderate intensity. You are always in charge of your intensity because that's much more related to the speed, the pace that you're going. Impact just means that we're not jumping. There's no jumping, there's no transitions to the ground today, but we're going back and forth between cardio and body weight strength, which is a nice way to kind of moderate a moderate workout by having changing heart rates while we are working out. Really kind of teaches you where your sweet spot is. We are going to have little triplets today. So we're going cardio, strength, cardio, and then we get a little bit of rest, which is kind of unusual, which means that we really get to think about exactly how hard we want to push during each interval. And I tell you what, the intervals aren't even all that long. I've got my handy dandy gym bus set for 20 seconds, which as far as I'm concerned is like the sweet spot for intervals. I would do every workout with 20-second intervals if I thought I could get away with it. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes. But at 20 seconds, that also means that we're really transitioning pretty quickly in between the exercises. So this is going to be, it's always going to be fun. I mean, hello, you've worked out with me before. I'm assuming you've worked out with me at least 9 times by now. So you know we're going to have fun, but we're going to kind of stay on our toes. I mean, both literally and metaphorically. We're going to be on our feet the entire time, but we also really kind of just have to think about what's coming next. So we're going to get started with some low swinging tappers. I threw us a softball right from the get-go so that we don't really have to think too hard about this first one. In fact, it's almost like an extended warm-up, so we're going to go ahead and get going. In fact, let's do that now, shall we? Okay. We shall. So low swinging tappers just means our hands are swinging low, which means that they're not going up overhead. That's why this is kind of an extended warm-up. We do have a fair bit of overhead. But so what we're going to do is we're just tapping from side to side. Now when it beeps, we're going directly into our strength interval. And we're going to be doing I, Y, W, and parade rest, which is one of my favorites. We're making the letter I, the letter Y, the letter W, and then going into parade rest. This is all upper and middle back all the time. You're squeezing those shoulder blades. When it beeps again, we're going to go into reach across. So we're going directly from cardio to strength back to cardio, really thinking about it. So back into cardio, now we're moving quickly. This is the magic of the workout, you guys. This is changing intervals, changing paces, changing what we're thinking about, changing. The good news is we got this kind of on lock now. But what we're going to do when it beeps again, we're going to take 20 seconds of rest. I'm just going to kind of do some tappers here. In fact, we're going to go directly into that same triplet one more time. So it's a repeating, no repeat, as I often like to do. Again, I tell you what, if I could make every workout like exactly the same, it would probably get really boring. But I really love 20-second intervals with repeating, no repeats. We're going to go with low swinging tappers. So our hands are swinging low, and you've noticed between the rest and the strength, we could actually go a little tiny bit faster with our cardio today. Sometimes, in fact, most of the time, we're doing cardio endurance. When it beeps again, we're doing that IYW parade rest. So cardio endurance, you really have to think about kind of slowing down. So I, Y, W, parade rest. Do you feel that work? In your upper back, your shoulders, making sure that your core is pulled in. Of course, it's always pulled in. It's always pulled in. Paula, you know how to do this. When it beeps again, we're doing reach across. And again, you'll notice that we'll be able to go, maybe not fast. I mean, it's still a moderate day. We're not trying to knock ourselves out. But with 20 seconds and with the changing heart rate, changing pace, it means that we can kind of put a little pop in our power here with our low impact cardio. When it beeps again, we're getting 20 seconds of rest, and then we're done with this little triplet. Boom! We're done with this little triplet. Okay, you guys, I gotta adjust my microphone, and I'm afraid it's gonna make a terrible noise for you, and I'm sorry about that, but it's poking me. Coming up next, got another little triplet, cardio, strength cardio. We're getting started with cans. That's where we have a knee and a kick and a knee and a kick. Now again, our hands aren't up very high on this one, which means that you might be able to go a little faster. The higher your hands are, the higher your heart rate is. That's how you always know how fast you might move the rest of your body. I always like to think about stuff like that because, for example, on our strength exercise coming up next, we're doing overhead deadlifts. So even though we're doing a strength exercise, our hands are up, which means you're gonna feel it. So overhead, coming down into a deadlift. Really thinking, again, about squeezing from the middle of your back so that your biceps stay right next to your ears. The deadlift movement is all through your hips. Push your hips back, move your hips forward. When it beeps again, we're doing booty kicker elbow swings. Whoo, doggies, we got lots of transitions today. Lots of thinking today during this workout. That's my secret sauce. I don't know if you've noticed, I've got a lot of secret sauces. Not a very good cook, but I do have a lot of sauce. I love to give us a workout for our brain as well as our body. Here's 20 seconds of rest, and then we're going to do that triplet one more time. At this age, this is something that I'm thinking about. This is something on my mind kind of a lot, honestly. My husband's grandparents, both of them on one side. When it beeps again, we're doing cans. My husband's grandparents, both of them on one side. One of them had Alzheimer's, the other had dementia. It's something that I think about a lot, is engaging my brain in different and unusual ways. It's why I do not make the same workout every time. Even though I love 20-second intervals, overhead deadlifts are coming up next. But I like to think while I'm working out. Hands up overhead, push your hips back, pull your hips forward, squeeze your core, squeeze from your upper back to make sure that your hands don't droop. I notice that I'm going a little faster than I might be if, for example, if I had heavy weights in my hands or if this was an all strength. Here we go with those booty kicker elbow swings. But here's the thing about body weight strength. We can go a little bit faster. As long as you're thinking about excellent form and always using your best judgment with pulling in your core, keeping your body where it's supposed to go, moving your muscles the way you want them to move, then we're all good with whatever pace works. Here's 20 seconds of rest, and boom, just like that, our second pair is done, or triplet rather, is done. Coming up next. Get a little bit more overhead here. We've got some big arm side shuffles. I'm scooting over to the side to give us a little bit of room. Our big arm side shuffles are just what they sound like. We're scooting, we're shuffling to the side while our hands make a big circle right in front of us. Now, I do kind of get this one rocking. Technically speaking, this might not be no impact. I still consider it low impact because we're really not jumping, but I do get a little bit of a bounce when it beeps. We're doing turn in lunges. Feet are going to be super duper wide, like we're going down into a sumo squat, except we're turning in one foot and lunging into it. And then back to that wide stance, turning in the other foot, lunging down into it. Yes, feel the burn in your inner thighs already. When it beeps again, we're turning this into middle skips. So we're going to come up out of this kind of quickly and go right into a skipping motion. Opposite hand, opposite knee, coming up at the same time. I call them middle skips, but today, because of the kind of short interval and the going back and forth with the heart rate, I'm going to go ahead and get my hands all the way up. It's always up to you to kind of figure out what feels moderate. Paying attention to your heart rate. Here's 20 seconds of rest. Paying attention to your heart rate is such a big part of this program. Knowing your own body is I mean, it's essential information, truly. It's essential to pay attention to how you feel while you're working out. When it beeps again, doing those big arm side shuffles again, I'm gonna scoot on over while I'm doing my little tapping here. And here we go. Some big arms while we're shuffling side to side. Awesome job. When it beeps again, doing those turn in lunges again. One of my favorites. They're all my favorites. Somebody pointed that out to me recently, and I love it. It's true. Every exercise is my favorite in their own way. Feet are nice and wide. Turn it in one side. Now I am coming all the way down. I did not mention this, but if you don't like lunges, can't do lunges, whatever, feel free to kick instead. Always, always, always make these exercises work for you. If you can't get as low as I can, don't like to do lunges, totally fine. Here we go with middle skips. See, no sooner did we start thinking, I don't like lunges, and boom, we were done with them anyways. When it beeps again, we're getting 20 seconds of rest. Awesome job. You guys, how are you feeling with these transitions and the differing heart rates? This is not something I do super often, especially if you're just coming off of weight loss. You did 31 days, however many times in a row, of lots of cardio endurance work, lots of no rest workouts. When it beeps again, we're doing dancing X's. Hands are wide, feet are wide. Crunching our elbow to our opposite knee in the middle, as though we are dancing like the letter X. Now we've got our hands up. Now the heart rate is definitely coming up. When it beeps again, we're doing super slow sprinters. Pick a leg, any leg. This is single-sided. I'm gonna stand on my left foot first. It's very similar to this motion, except we're going super slow. It's balance work, always a favorite. We're crunching in and then extending out. Crunching in and extending that leg out. When it beeps again, we're doing wide open side kicks. Wow, I really shouldn't have looked away from what I was staring at. My balance is crazy today. Hands are going wide open while one foot kicks out to the side at a time. Your hands are coming back to your chest. They're kind of flapping open and flapping closed while we're kicking out to the side one at a time. So your hands aren't super high. Again, every time your hands are up, your heart rate goes up. So when your hands are kind of in this middle position, you might be able to move a little bit faster. You also might not. Here's 20 seconds of rest. It's always up to you to figure out. On this particular workout, rather than having like a super steady heart rate the entire time, it's gonna go up and come down, up and come down. Over time, it starts to drift all the way up. Dancing X's are coming up next. Here we go, nice and wide. Crunching in the middle, opposite elbow to opposite knee. Excellent. When it beeps, doing the super slow sprinter. Now I'm gonna try and say that. Doing that next exercise on the other foot. I'm gonna be standing on my right foot, and I happen to know already that it is less coordinated on that side, so I really have to think about it. So we crunch it in and extend it out. Arm crunches in, and then other arm extends out. Really thinking about excellent balance, which means that you've pulled in your core. Coming up next, we're doing those wide open side kicks. Whew, and I even was able to look at my whiteboard without losing too much of my balance. Here we are on those wide open side kicks, moving at a pace that feels good, but also feels moderate. Remember, even though we can push a little bit on these intervals, I mean, it's 20 seconds, our heart rate is going up and down. You can probably give this a little bit more oomph today. Here's 20 seconds of rest. But that doesn't mean we're pushing the whole workout. This is not a push workout, my friend. Pushing a little for an overall moderate workout is what we're aiming for. When it beeps again, forward hinge arm flappers. Again, my favorite. They're all my favorites. It's like I have however many, here we go, forward hinge arm flappers. We're doing a deadlift with our lower body, and our upper body is doing jumping jacks. And then when it beeps again, we're doing squatted crunches. So we're gonna come down in a semi-squatted position, and we're gonna crunch. We're gonna crunch our elbows down to our knees. The thing that I was trying to say, so hands are on your shoulders, coming down in a semi-squatted position. We're crunching down and pulling it back up. This is abs. And I know you notice it because we're in a squat position. It is butt. When it beeps again, we're doing kick jacks. Really thinking about squeezing down, thinking about using your booty to pull you back up. Hands are doing jumping jacks while your legs are kicking for these kick jacks. Yes, now you're noticing the fast transitions, the hands, the thinking, all of that stuff, What I was saying so long ago now, however many exercises that I have created over the years, I'm gonna assume it's somewhere in the like 100, I probably have like 150 exercises. I have no idea, I've never counted them up, but they're all my favorites. They're like my children, they're all my favorites. That was a long setup for a very poor joke. When it beeps again, we're doing those forward hinge arm flappers again. Lower body is doing a deadlift. Upper body is doing a jumping jack with absolutely no jumping. Whew, really thinking about where your booty is. Even though this is cardio, it's still a deadlift. This motion is entirely driven by your booty. When it beeps again, we're doing those squatted crunches, semi-squatted, not fully squatted, semi-squatted crunches. Hands on your shoulders. Body in a squat and crunch it over and pull it back up. Yes, this is like all booty all the time on these two exercises, the forward hinge arm flappers and now these squatted crunches. When it beeps again, I'm gonna stop grunting and we're gonna go right into kick jacks. Awesome job. And that is the magic of 20-second intervals because I would not want to be doing those squatted crunches for 1 second longer. Am I right? You guys, when it beeps again, we are getting 20 seconds of rest and we are moving along. This workout, we are not letting any grass grow under our feet. It is not the kind of thing that takes a long time. That is the great news, honestly, about this whole program. When it beeps again, we're doing star bursts. That's where we get little and then we get big. We burst out with both hands up and one foot kicking out to the side. It's not really a full squat. Again, you never really have to squat. We're just kind of crouching in. So crouch in, burst out, crouch in, burst out. Hands are up. So your heart rate is up. And then we're going directly from here into star balance. I did this on purpose. Star burst, star balance. It's going to be miserable to try and balance with this kind of heart rate, but that's exactly why we do it. And not miserable. That was a weird word to come out of my mouth, but it is difficult. It is challenging. Star balance, well, it is one of my favorite exercises, but it's not in the top 10. Star balance is tough for me. I have a very hard time going side to side. When it beeps again, here we are with double knees, hands up, 2 knees on one side, 2 knees on the other, hands going up and down, meeting your knees here in the middle. And yes, we're going kind of fast. Heart rate is kind of up. It's not really near the end, but we're getting close to the end of our workout here. Whew, doggies, 10 seconds of rest. No, 20 seconds of rest. When we get to the end of any workout, your heart rate is always going to be higher than when you started. When it beeps again, we're doing those star bursts. It's a thing called cardiac drift, and it happens no matter what kind of work you're doing. The longer you sustain any kind of work, even something little, star bursts, here we go, get little, get big, even a very, very, very moderate, mild, gentle effort, one might say, turns into something with a higher heart rate without changing your pace, simply because you are enduring for longer. When it beeps again, we're doing those star balance. And that reminds me of something that I started saying quite some time ago about how if you've been losing weight before this program, that you did nothing but cardio endurance, because that really is the first step. We learn how to endure before we learn how to go up and down like this, a HIIT workout like this. When it beeps again, we're doing double knees. Whew, doggies. I realized that I wasn't thinking quite as hard about those star balance. I was going kind of fast on that one because it got tough. My friends, even a moderate workout gets tough when we have been doing it for a while. Every time your heart rate comes up, it's an effort. 20 seconds of rest here. And then coming up next, it's our final triplet. We're going rainbow kicks, which means that your hands are going to be rolling overhead like a rainbow while we kick out to one side and then the other. If you have not already, by the way, make sure that you open up the description box. You need to be on mobile or desktop to do that. You can't do it. Here we go with rainbow kicks. You can't do it from the TV. You can't do anything on the TV other than watch the video. You can't leave a comment. You can't read the description. You can't really do anything. When you're on mobile or desktop, make sure that you open up the description box and get the information resource that goes along with our body shaping program. When it beeps, we're doing sumo squats. Feet are nice and wide, squatting it down. Oh my gosh, here comes the grunting again. Making sure that your head stays up, your chest stays out. You're getting as low as you can while pushing your hips back. When it beeps again, we're coming up out of this position and going directly into skiers. Hands going up and down directly in front of you while your feet are shuffling back and forth underneath you. Excellent job. You guys, none of these triplets was easy, but you got them all. You did a great job. After this, we get 20 seconds of rest, and then we're just doing it one more time. When we are doing moderate work like this, here we go, 20 seconds of rest. This has such a great place in your overall routine, whether you've been losing weight like you were, or whether you are body shaping. When it beeps again, we're doing those rainbow kicks for the second and final time. Moderate work always has a place in your routine because, as you've noticed, it is work. This is still incredibly beneficial to you. You're toning your muscles, you're toning your heart and lungs, you're getting a little bit of movement, you're getting your endorphins flowing. It feels good for your body and your brain. When it beeps, we're doing sumo squats, gonna have our feet nice and wide, coming down nice and low. Boom, right into it. And right back up, really thinking about pulling in your core, driving this motion with your butt, but also you notice that your inner and outer thighs are doing a lot of this work. When it beeps again, doing skiers for the second and final time. My friends, we do not have to push. Here we go with skiers. We do not have to push every day. And you can see we don't have to push every interval in order to get a great workout and get great results overall. Now, when it beeps again, we are done. We're not quite finished. I know you know because I already told you way back on day 0. Here's 20 seconds of rest. We are going to bring our heart rate down a tiny, tiny bit. When it beeps again, we're doing flying side bends. This is not going to be easy. We're doing side bends, which means that your hips are going to stay super, super, super stable. But one of your feet is going to be flying. So I'm going to start on my left leg with my left leg standing, and we're doing a side bend. So you're bending wherever you can get to with your spine and then pulling back up. And we're going to stay on this side for this entire interval. It's balance work, so you're bringing that work up into your booty, your core, your abs are working, and then of course your obliques are literally working. Here we go on the other side, flying side bends. On the other side, this is our final interval. I don't care how many of these you get done. We're not trying to get a bunch of them done. This is much more about just practicing with your core stabilizers. Oh my goodness, and a little bit of final grunting. When it beeps again, it's the last time it's gonna beep. In this workout, let's go ahead and do some tapping. Wow, what a great job you did today. It was a good effort, right? We're gonna do some arm circles and some tappers here to cool this down. That's the thing about a moderate workout. It feels great. It's definitely enough work today. I know my friends who are used to pushing are like, oh, it wasn't a very long workout. It didn't get super sweaty. It probably didn't do me any good. I will tell you the good that it did you. It did good for your heart and lungs. It did good for your mind-body connection. It did good for your deep core stabilizers. It did fantastic good for your muscle strength and your bone health. And it wasn't too much. Your body can clear away this stress. If you do more, I'm looking at you with my stern mama look. If you do more today, you might get to the point where your body can't clear the stress. If your body can't clear the stress, your body can't make the adaptations to make the body shaping movements, to get those body shaping visible results that I know you want. Let's go ahead and do some arm openers. My friends, restraint is sometimes the name of the game. It is definitely the name of this game. Remember 2 days ago when we gave it a big push? That's all the push we need. Everything else gets to feel like fun. It gets to feel like a big hug and a pat on your sweaty back because you did such a great job. And then we get to get on with the day. You will have the energy to, I'm gonna say clean your house because that's what's on my list today. But you'll have the energy to do whatever else it is you want to do. Like, for example, clicking that subscribe button so that I can see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is a strength day. We're eating our baseline because tomorrow is moderate too, and I'll see you then.